What's up everybody, it's Jelly with Squid Industries, and today I'm going to be teaching you all how to do the reverse and the zero gravity Chaplin. The prerequisite tricks that you'll need to learn before learning the reverse and the zero gravity, or zero G Chaplin for short, are the basic Chaplin in both the horizontal and vertical orientations, as well as the whip rollover. The whip rollover will just help you to get out of these Chaplins, so it's not absolutely necessary, but it'll definitely help when you're learning this trick. So that being said, let's get to the breakdown of the reverse Chaplin. So we're going to start on the reverse Chaplin in both the horizontal and vertical orientations. Learning this is very similar, if not the same, to the regular Chaplin. It just goes in the other direction. So it might be awkward for you to learn it first, but just know it's more or less the same. It just goes in a different direction. So the standard Chaplin, you would hold the safe handle and then it would be like this in this position, and you would push out and pull in towards your body like this. But with the reverse Chaplin, it's going to be like this. So this was the regular Chaplin and this is the reverse Chaplin. I'm going to show you this trick on my middle finger, and I think it's easiest to learn this trick on your middle finger because it's the strongest and the positioning is a lot more comfortable, especially once you start practicing the vertical ones. See, the horizontal ones, pretty easy, but the vertical ones require a little bit more effort, and my hand is just in a more comfortable position than if I did it with my index finger. The direction of the reverse Chaplin, it goes out and then you pull back in here and then you push out again and then pull back in like this. Whereas with the regular Chaplin, you would push out here and then pull in towards your body. So with the reverse Chaplin, you're going to be pushing away from your body like this. And your finger is going to be slightly curled. With the regular Chaplin, it was more or less straight. With this one, it's going to be curled just a little bit, not super hooked, just slightly curved. And again, you're going to be trying to rotate and keep the Chaplin around the middle digit of your finger here. So you can start with those slow rotations and then get faster in once you're comfortable with the trick. And to get out of the trick, or to slow down, when you started with those bigger circles to get a slow Chaplin, you can do the same thing to slow down and get out of a fast Chaplin. You see, it's a fast Chaplin, and then I can just slow down by making those bigger circles so I have more control. And I think it's easiest to stop it with your index finger since it's already there. So if you're on your middle finger, then you can just slow down and stop the safe handle, the back side of the safe handle like this. And then you can do a whip rollover out if you've learned that trick, or if not, you can just stop it, bring it down, twist it, and then bring it to that close. To do the reverse Chaplin vertically, you're going to do basically the same movement. So if you learned your regular Chaplin vertically, you can use that same process to learn the reverse Chaplin. Instead of your arm being flat like this and going around like that, it's going to be turned like this, and instead of going like that, you're going to be doing a more up and down circular motion. So it's going to be like this. But you can practice transitioning from that horizontal Chaplin and then tilting your wrist slightly, and you can see that I'm already in that vertical position. So you can just practice your Chaplin like this and then try to turn your wrist and your arm. And you're gonna feel this a lot in your bicep and arm here when you're going around. It's gonna take a little bit more effort to do that vertical Chaplin, but it is basically the same movement. Another cool thing you can do with the Rev Chaplin is get into it from a Rev thumb roll, and you can actually get into a lot of Chaplins, basically every Chaplin out of a roll. You just gotta start off of the bite handle. So if you haven't watched the Rev thumb roll tutorial, you can watch it up here. You start on the bite handle, you roll it around your thumb, and then catch the safe handle between your thumb and your middle finger here. And once you have it in this position, you can get your index finger out of the way and then transition right into that Rev Chaplin. So you can break it down into those steps to practice, and then once you feel comfortable, you can go right into that Chaplin. There is a little pause where I'm gripping it like this and the Bali's bite handle is still moving, so you can take that time to get control of the knife before getting right into the Chaplin. And then you can just do the whip rollover out. So for the 0G Chaplin, you want to be in the same grip as the reverse Chaplin. So you're going to start off like this, but instead of keeping your position like this, you're actually going to turn your wrist and arm over. And it's important that your arm is in this position so that the handles and blade don't smack against the inside of your forearm. So it's like this, turned around. And I'm going to show you this trick on the index finger because I think that the positioning is easier for the rest of your hand and it's a little bit more comfortable learning this trick on your index finger. And your finger is going to be curled even more than the reverse Chaplin. So the reverse Chaplin, you curled it slightly, but for this one, you are going to make more of a hook shape. And that way the knife won't fall straight down when you're doing the trick. It'll be resting on the tip of your finger and still rotating around the middle digit of your index finger. So doing the actual Chaplin, it isn't going to be perfectly flat. It's really hard to get a perfectly flat 0G Chaplin. It's a little bit of a cheat, but it's kind of angled down. So if you're looking at your knife, it's angled down slightly instead of perfectly flat. Doing it perfectly flat is kind of awkward on your wrist. You can do it, but it is a lot easier, and I even do my 0G Chaplins. I think everyone does their 0G Chaplins slightly angled. So you're like this, it's hooked, and it's already a little bit easier to understand how this trick works. It's not magic that it stays on your finger. It's hooked and angled down, and when you're getting into it, to get into the actual trick, you can flick out and then stick your index finger here. So if you learned the behind the 8-ball, it is basically that first step of rotating around your index finger, but you just keep that going. So this is the behind the 8-ball. And just imagine you're doing that same trick at the beginning, but you're just trying to keep that momentum of the 0G Chaplin going. Doing this trick, it's a little bit harder to use that method of going in nice slow circles and then getting faster, just because this trick, if you don't keep that momentum up, it is easier for it to slip out to the sides or just fall down. So you're really just gonna have to try doing it like that, doing as many as you can. So just try it. You can go a little bit slow and then speed up. So just do one at a time. So you do one and then you can do two, and then add a rotation each time you try until you can get this nice and consistent. So again, you can slow down a little to get more control so that you can stop it. The easiest way to stop it, the easiest way to stop an index 0G Chaplin for me is with my thumb. So you can just, as it's rotating around, stick your thumb in and catch the backside of the safe handle here. And that way you can just whip it around into a thumb roll and then get into that closed position. And that's how you do the 0G Chaplin. Another thing I wanted to add about the 0G Chaplin is that you're going to feel it a lot in your shoulder. So like with the reverse vertical Chaplin where you use your arm a lot, you're going to feel the 0G Chaplin a lot in your shoulder because of the position that your arm is in while doing the trick. So just keep that in mind, and hey, after practicing the trick and combos that use the trick, you might have a super buff shoulder. So yeah. So that was the basic versions of the reverse and the 0G Chaplin. And remember, you can do this trick on every single one of your fingers. So practice it on all of them, get super comfy with it. And that's how you'll have the most fun with this trick. So let's get to those combos. Alright buddy, that's going to do it for today's tutorial. If you're ready to move on from the reverse and 0G Chaplin, then subscribe and hit that bell icon to get notified when we release more tutorials like this one. And we are going to be releasing more intermediate and advanced tutorials as we're finishing up the beginner tricks, so definitely stay tuned for that. If you haven't already, then visit the Squid Industries website so you can pick up a Balisong trainer and start flipping. This is a live blade, but you can pick up a trainer so you don't get your hands completely demolished if you start on a live blade. So yeah, and also check out our other social media platforms, links in the description. That's it. See you guys next time. Oh, and here's a flipping clip.